Willem, will you tell us about matching gifts?
Yeah, sure. So, we're running a little over time here, so I'll try to net it out. So, I've worked for large companies for all of my career, and it's a really easy way to get your donors, your walkers to double your contribution, right? So, companies will often, many of them, like Jenny was talking about, right, will match, and it's so easy to ask. So the first thing is on the tips is ask your company to match, right? The worst thing they can do is say we don't match, or no, we don't. But there's actually a lot of ways to find out whether a company does company matches. So for your donors and for the people that are walking, right, try to get them to either request a matching gift from their company or go to their HR department, right? And they usually have whatever forms are required for that company. So they'll match your grant. If you have $100, they'll match $100. If you have $50, you get $50. If you have $1,000, they'll often match that $1,000. So it's completely worth it. And it's very easy money for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and for your team for Great Strides. There's a couple places where I'd recommend you go to see if somebody's working for like Boeing, or I work for Intel and IBM. There's Charity Navigator, so you can check on charitynavigator.org for companies, and they'll tell you a little bit about how much that company matches and how to go about in that company. And the most important thing is, do they match, yes or no? And then they'll give you a little bit insight into how to go about it. So that's one place. There's also right on the CFF Foundation, on the foundation's website, there's also a matching gifts URL. So you can go there. And it also talks a little bit about what is a matching gift and different strategies for going about getting a matching gift. So one of the things we do with almost all of our emails, especially, I have a lot of my connections are, they're working in companies, is I make that part of my email request, right? When I say, hey, we're doing Great Strides, Mary talked about the letter writing. Well, I put that letter writing all in an email, same types of things. But I also include, hey, if you're working for a company, request a matching gift, right? And that's a great way to get it. And a lot of times what we've gotten is we'll get people that, for example, connections that work for Boeing. And I know Boeing does matching gifts, right? So then you have to go back after you get their donation, right, onto your team, go back and ask them, like, did you ask Boeing? Did you try to get your matching gift? Because that, again, it's free money, and it's a great way to double that person's contribution to your team. So go about and do that. And so that's the reminder to pursue that after they've given the donation. So those are some of my tips that we've employed in the Weary Walker team, and they're pretty successful. And again, it's really easy way to get additional funds for your team.
Thank you, Willem. I remember working with someone, I think it was in the Cincinnati office, and he worked for PNC Bank, which was big there. And that was when they were paper forms. A lot of it's online now, but he would literally go around his office with the paper forms and be like, thanks for your donation, here's the form. Thanks for your donation, here's the form. So it's an extra step that you might not even think that it's there. And like you said, totally free money. So
yeah, and some companies will do an exact match, and some companies have a maximum, right? So you just get what you can, but usually it's a direct match.
The best are when it's like 2 to 1 or 3 to 1. So you give $50 and they might give 100, which is very rare, but very exciting when you get those ones, for sure. Perfect. Well, yes, to Willem's point, we did take a lot of time, but I think it was time well spent. I'm so glad to have all of you here, getting to meet you, see new faces.